certified EFT practitioner and integrative wellness coach. Paula has more than 30 years experience in traditional and holistic medicine. Paula was a critical care nursing instructor at the well-renowned Cleveland Clinic for more than a decade. Taught nursing at 2 Ohio colleges and practiced primary care in a busy family practice in Medina, Ohio for 18 years, prior to moving to Paso in California in 2010. Paula brings a unique perspective to wellness with her combined expertise in traditional Western medicine and holistic medicine. She provides a truly integrative approach that emphasizes the integrity and harmony of body, mind, and spirit. She is the chairman of the Medical Advisory Board at hempSmart and has helped to formulate their innovative CBD-based products. Paula, I am absolutely delighted to introduce you, and I'd like to hand over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm honored to be here, and I'm sort of like you and Ian. This is keeping me awake at night for all the right reasons. I like to tell people that about 3 decades ago, I was at a self-development workshop and was challenged to write my goal in life, my life purpose, and it's ingrained ever since that time, and that was to educate, inspire, and empower people to take charge of their health and transform their lives. And this is the vehicle that I am succeeding in doing that with at long last. So it is exciting to me. And what I'd like to do, if it's all right with you, is to spend just a couple of minutes kind of laying the groundwork about CBD so I know that we're all on the same page. And then I'll talk a little bit about our unique products. CBD, we know, it's a therapeutic compound that's found in cannabis. And when I say cannabis, a lot of people's minds go directly to marijuana. And I like to define that cannabis it's a broad category. It's kind of like canine is a broad category. And within the canine category, we have Chihuahuas and we have St. Bernards. And the properties of those 2 species of canines are very different. Similarly, marijuana and hemp are in the cannabis family. They also are very different. Our products all come from industrial hemp. So the main difference is that marijuana is very high in the molecule called THC. THC is the molecule that will make people high or give you a buzz. It's a mind-altering chemical. Both marijuana and hemp have CBD. Hemp is much higher in CBD, very low in THC, where it's the reverse in marijuana. hempSmart goes one stage further in that we not only use the very low THC hemp plant, but we remove all THC from our products. So if you're concerned about having to be sharp on your game, not wanting to have your mind clouded, perhaps you're drug tested for your job, you don't need to worry about that with our products because all THC is removed. So how CBD works, first of all, I have to say we don't cure anything, we don't treat any disease. What we do is to support the wisdom of the human body. And as a holistic health practitioner, I've been preaching for years that our body is designed to heal, repair, and regenerate, but it needs the right raw materials to accomplish that task. It wasn't until 1992 that the system called the endocannabinoid system was discovered. And I tease about that being a 50-cent word. But the endocannabinoid system, or ECS, as we like to abbreviate it, is the orchestra conductor of the body. And what the endocannabinoid system does is to achieve a balance and a harmony between our cells, our organs, our glands, and our tissues. A huge, huge job in order to maintain that balance and homeostasis. So what does that mean practically? The endocannabinoid system is responsible for balancing all of our hormones, not just our sex hormones, but our thyroid hormones, our adrenal hormones, and our brain chemistry. So when we look at all of the issues that people deal with because of imbalance in brain chemistry, keep in mind the endocannabinoid system is the foundation that regulates all of those brain chemicals. It also, the endocannabinoid system also regulates all the chemicals of inflammation in our body. When we look at chronic health challenges, from diabetes to Parkinson's to Alzheimer's to chronic pain to fibromyalgia to cancer, on and on and on, all of those challenges have at their foundation chronic inflammation. When you have a tool that impacts the body's regulation of inflammation, you have a powerful arsenal at treating foundational problems in the body. Again, I underline, we don't treat disease. We don't claim to cure disease. What we do is much more powerful. We stimulate and we support the wisdom of every cell in our body through the endocannabinoid system to solve those problems. I like to teach through analogies, and one of the analogies that I came up with here is, most of us have cell phones. I can't say that I can put out a fire with my cell phone. That's a stretch of the imagination. But look at the scenario of my house is on fire. I use my cell phone to dial the fire department. The fire department now has been stimulated and given information that there is something that it needs to intervene in. The fire department then uses their electronic communications to communicate with the right fire station, to get the right equipment, the right personnel to the right place, and perhaps even further to call in backup if that's necessary. So while my cell phone didn't put out the fire, it stimulated the fire department. The fire department used its electronic communications to support the mustering of the resources and dispatching of resources to take care of the problem. That's equivalent to what CBD does with the endocannabinoid system. We stimulate and support the endocannabinoid system to gather the intelligence, muster the resources, and dispatch those to the side of the problem so the problem's taken care of. So that kind of sets the stage for how we work in the body. Are there any questions there before I get into specific products?
Oh, Paula, we have everyone on standard mute at the moment.
Okay. Well, let me just talk a little bit then about the things that make us different. If the UK is anything like the US, I get 3 or 4 emails, junk emails I call them, a day on the newest, latest CBD. People are aware that CBD is powerful. The legal regulations regarding CBD are relaxing, and people are looking for natural, effective, safe ways of addressing health issues that don't have side effects. So it's no surprise that CBD has become very popular. The regulations around CBD are also very lax, which means that, Joe Schmo can go make CBD in his garage. And at least in this country, you can go to your gas station to fill up your gas tank. And when you go in to pay, you see CBD on the counter. It's not regulated. The labeling is not necessarily clear. There's no standardization. And the message I try to get to people is that all CBD is not created equal. There are some basic things you need to know about the CBD that you're purchasing. Number one, hemp is great for the planet because it cleans the soil. The hemp plant pulls toxins, herbicides, pesticides, heavy metals out of the soil. That's great, except that those junk substances end up in the hemp plant. So if your CBD is coming from hemp that's grown in a contaminated soil, you're putting lots of garbage in your body along with CBD. So first, you want to make sure that your hemp source is organically and sustainably grown. You want to be sure that you're not ingesting herbicides, pesticides, and heavy metals, along with the good stuff that comes in CBD. So organically grown is absolutely essential. And of course, at hempSmart, our CBD is organically grown and tested by a third-party lab to assure that there is no contamination. Secondly, full spectrum CBD is the most effective. There are over 400 compounds in the hemp plant. Mother Nature put those there for a reason, to work synergistically. A lot of CBD products are made from what's called CBD isolate. They pull the CBD molecule out and use that as their CBD supplement. At hempSmart, we understand the wisdom of Mother Nature. Those other cofactors that are in the hemp plant are there to work synergistically with the CBD. We have CBG, we have CBN, we have active terpenes, the volatile oils that also stimulate and empower the endocannabinoid system. So we use full spectrum CBD from hemp. The only thing we remove is the THC, the mind-altering component that causes the high, so that you don't have to worry about, clouding your memory or not being at the top of your game or failing a drug test. Those things are absolutely important. Quality in terms of purity and potency have to be guaranteed. And people can say anything on the internet. They can tell you how great and pure and potent their products are. But if they're not independently tested by a certified lab, you don't have any guarantee of that. So just because it appears on the internet doesn't necessarily mean it's true. We're very, very proud of our certificates of analysis, and we not only test raw materials prior to formulation, but we have a secondary test on every batch of materials after production before it goes into the bottle to be sold to consumers. So absolute integrity when it comes to purity and potency. We have transparency in terms of relationship with conscientious growers so that we can trace our products from seed to shelf. We know exactly where it was grown, how it was grown, who grew it, who transported it, where it was processed, who bottled it, and we can trace that entire process. So that seed to final product is extremely important. We also have, in my opinion, an unparalleled integrity. When I came on with the company almost 2 years ago in its initial stages, and was asked to help formulate our first product, one of my pet peeves has always been a nutritional supplement that puts a tiny, minuscule amount of an ingredient in a product just so they can put it on the label. As a certified herbalist, I love therapeutic botanicals. They're wonderful, and there's a tremendous amount of scientific research on the botanical products that we use. But if a scientific study says that 50 milligrams of an herb is therapeutic, putting 3 milligrams in a product doesn't serve anyone except the bottom line of the company who wants to use it for advertising. What I'm very proud of, and where we are unique in the marketplace, is all of the botanical products that are in our CBD support products are present in the full therapeutic amounts. So while the FDA doesn't allow us to make health-related claims in terms of helps a medical condition, when people use these products, they have the experience of a very potent, natural, side effect-free product that empowers their body to deal with health challenges in a very effective manner. Our hands are a little bit tied in what we can say about the product, but people still get that experience. And when they experience the momentum and forward movement of their health and their well-being and the way they feel and the energy they have and the way they're sleeping better and functioning better and thinking clearer, that is their truth. That is what moves our products forward. That is what's changing people's lives. So I'd like to talk a little about the individual products, and then if there are any questions, I'll be happy to spend a few minutes on those. First of all, our CBD oil You know, that's the basic product that stimulates and supports our endocannabinoid system, which, as I said, is the orchestra conductor of the body, regulates communications between cells, organs, glands, tissues, balances all our hormones, regulates our brain chemistry, and regulates the chemicals of inflammation. Our CBD oil comes in 4 flavors. Comes in 2 strengths, the 250 milligram, 500 milligram. Again, the commitment to quality, nothing artificial, no artificial flavor, no artificial color, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial preservatives. It's the pure CBD as Mother Nature intended it, organic, full spectrum, certificates of analysis. The beautiful thing about the CBD oil, you put it under the tongue, hold it under the tongue for about a minute. The active component is absorbed through the bloodstream without ever going into the stomach. So you'll begin to get results from the CBD within a matter of just about 10 minutes. You hold it under the tongue, and then whatever oil is left, you go ahead and swallow at the end of that. But the benefits of the CBD oil have been amazing. People are feeling a difference in their energy, overall well-being, mental acuity, thought processing. It supports all of the functions of the endocannabinoid system. You see oils and you see tinctures. Tinctures generally contain alcohol, and tinctures can be okay, but if you're dealing with someone who has a substance abuse issue and can't have alcohol, that rules out the tinctures. The oils are applicable to everyone so that everyone can use them for their benefit. The other thing I need to point out with the drops is that all mammals have endocannabinoid systems. It's not just humans, but our furry friends, our cats, our dogs, our horses, our goats, all have endocannabinoid systems. And I have a number of people who are using them for their pet companions with remarkable results. Again, we don't treat illnesses. We don't treat arthritis. We don't treat cancer. We don't deal with illnesses, but we empower the body's cellular wisdom to do what it already knew how to do, but it needed the right raw materials. If you're going to provide raw materials, provide the best. Ours have the bioavailable, purest forms that are tested independently. So there's no argument about that. The next product that I'm really proud of, and actually was the first product that we put on the market, and that's the hempSmart Brain. The hempSmart Brain has 10 milligrams of full spectrum organic CBD, along with some synergistic herbs and botanicals that specifically address brain function. They are what are called nootropic, Nootropic herbs. You'll see a lot of research in nootropic substances. A lot of people are familiar with ginkgo biloba for brain function, and there's some good studies on that. Instead of ginkgo, we have bacopa. Bacopa is like ginkgo on steroids. A lot of good scientific research showing that it allows optimal brain cell communication and actually helps with laying down new infrastructure in the brain, new communication between existing brain cells, and supports the body's development of new brain cells. That's something we didn't even know was possible 15 years ago. But bacopa and CBD both help to stimulate that process of neurogenesis, which is development of new brain cells. There's also things like phosphatidylserine and turmeric and L-theanine, things that have lots of good research in terms of brain function. It supports learning, focus, memory. When I started taking the brain formula, as we were tweaking it before it was released, I was finishing writing a book. And I found within 3 to 4 weeks of starting on the brain formula, my concentration, my ability to focus, not get distracted, being in the zone for long periods of time, really began to improve pretty dramatically. Next product that we have that is unique in the marketplace is our pain formulas. We have both a pain cream, which is a topical cream applied for localized pain. You know, if you're working in the garden and your shoulder is a little sore, or you know, you were a weekend warrior and maybe your knees or your hips are a little sore because you decided to jog more than you're used to doing, then the pain cream is amazing. You rub it in. It again is formulated with the same organic full spectrum CBD, but we have full spectrum turmeric. Again, a lot of debate about, and a lot of companies will put in curcumin, which comes from turmeric. It's only one of the therapeutic properties of turmeric. Full spectrum turmeric is much more beneficial, and we use a product called Turmericin, which is made extremely bioavailable. It's the highest grade turmeric supplement available. And that's available in our cream. We also use arnica in our cream, which is a homeopathic with a long history of benefit when it comes to muscle soreness and irritation or bruising. So the pain cream is great. It's a great thing to give people samples of, because they will begin to feel relief of pain within a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. It has a lovely fragrance to it. It's absorbed quickly so that it's not greasy, and the scent vanishes fairly quickly. It's not like some of the products on the market where 4 hours later, you know, you still can smell that you've put on a pain relief cream. For people who have more widespread muscle aches, pains, discomfort, the pain capsules work systemically. Also the same full spectrum organic CBD, but with things like cucumber extract, which is getting a lot of attention by major medical centers for relief of pain. Lots of good scientific research behind that product as well. And it is for muscle strains, aches, pains, and it's safe to use long-term. You know, if I'm using, you know, just a localized thing, I may use just the cream, but if it's a more systemic thing, then using the capsules will give you a generalized systemic effect. And then the last product right now, we have more in the pipeline, but our last available product on the market right now is the face moisturizer, which is absolutely amazing. I've always been a minimalist when it comes to skincare, but when you look at some of the high-priced skin creams in terms of, you know, anti-aging and youthful look, one of the things you find is that they're high in plants or high in ceramides. Our face moisturizer has plant-derived ceramides, and we're using things like aloe and sacha inchi and pomegranate oil and rosehip oil, sea buckthorn oil. These not only help to hydrate and nourish the skin cells for optimal radiance, but they help the process of getting rid of old dead skin cells. So it's almost like an exfoliation, but from the inside, nourishing those skin cells and creating new healthy skin cells. That process is just simply carried on through the endocannabinoid system. So again, we're supporting the body's own native intelligence of how to deal with situations, how to deal with health challenges, but we're doing it in a very natural manner without side effects. So the CBD drops for people, for animals, for just overall support of the endocannabinoid system. And then if you're looking for focus support, the brain capsules, 1 twice a day for brain function, pain cream for localized discomfort, pain capsules, 1 up to 3 times a day for pain, and for rejuvenation, radiance, hydration of the skin, then our face moisturizer is available. And we're just having amazing results, amazing testimonials, and it's so gratifying to be able to provide people with the real deal that really works with no side effects.
Wow, thank you, Paula. That was really powerful. We really appreciate you. Have you got time for a few questions? If
Certainly.
Ask you? Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay. If anyone wants to ask a question, I'm going to mute everybody now, but we'll just have to go one at a time, otherwise we'll lose the call. So let's just check this out.
Sure.
Okay, so does anyone like to ask a question?
Hi, can I go first? It's very short.
I think it sounds brilliant. I think it sounds wonderful, that stuff.
Hello?
Oh, hang on one second.
But it's not just for everything, you know what I mean?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi there. So I'm really interested in all of the products that you've mentioned, and I'm sure I'll be on your website ordering a few of the items. But in regards to the oil, you said it comes in a 250 milligram or a 500 milligram. How would one know which one to go for?
That's a great question. And the thing that I always tell people is that it's a real individual thing. This is not a drug where we have a measured amount that's going to have an effect on a given system. We're looking at total body support. So I tend to be a minimalist. I will tell you the 500 milligram is a better buy. You end up, the concentration is going to, you get more bang for your buck, so to speak. But probably the average person, there's no such thing as a dose. It depends on, what your body needs, and it's not body weight dependent. But I would say the average person probably starts with 10 to 20 milligrams a day. Right. If you're using the 250 milligrams, one dropper is 10 milligrams. So if you're using 10 milligrams a day, that bottle will last you almost 4 weeks. Okay. If you're using the 500 milligrams, 10 milligrams, that would last you twice as long. That's a reasonable place to start. And because it's a natural approach that supports your body, it's not like taking a pharmaceutical where you notice the effects within 2 hours. It may take 4 or 5 days for you to notice an effect. So what I tell people is to play with it. It's absolutely safe. We're hardwired to use CBD. Our body produces small amounts of CBD. There's cannabinoids in breast milk, so it's absolutely safe. So start with maybe a dropper a day. Do that for 3 or 4 days. If you're not seeing the results you want, increase it a little bit. Maybe go with a dropper twice a day. Once you start feeling great, then you can play with cutting it back a little bit and see what happens. Okay. So it's really trial and error depending upon what your body requires.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Paula?
Yes.
Hello, Linda Crawford here. Paula, 2 questions. Where is it contraindicated, and is it safe to give to a pregnant mum?
Great questions. There is no contraindication. One of the things, even with our support products that have botanicals, there are lots of herbs that are beneficial, but they may have drug interactions. We were very cautious that there's nothing in that interacts with medication, so no contraindications. And yes, the plain CBD oil is safe to use during pregnancy. As I said, the cannabinoids are present in breast milk. So what it does is simply to support your body's own wisdom in mustering the resources it needs and sending those to the right areas to solve problems.
So there are no drugs that we cannot use this with.
There are no interactions with prescription drugs, so it is absolutely safe to use regardless of whether you're on, heart medicines, blood pressure medicines, diabetes medications, chemotherapy. No interaction with the CBD.
Fantastic, thank you.
Yes.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Go
Hello.
ahead.
Hi. So if a pregnant lady is using the oil, would that reduce nausea?
It's a possibility. Again, we don't treat nausea directly, but because the endocannabinoid regulates those hormones that affect nausea, it certainly is a possibility. And I always, you know, I always defer with anything with pregnancy. I always say, you know, check with your provider. But I can assure you, you know, that there is no interaction or no contraindication in terms of the normal functions of pregnancy and using CBD.
Okay, thank you. And we got time for maybe just one or two more questions. If anyone would like to ask a question, now is the time. No, I think we've done such a good job.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Gina. I'd like to ask if it's okay to give to kids, or is it just something adults take?
Great question. It is absolutely safe for children. The mainstream pharmaceutical industry just came out with a synthetic cannabinoid drug in the United States for treatment of, and again, we are not a drug, and I'm not saying that we treat seizures, but the youngest child I have on the CBD drops is 4 years old. But again, absolutely, absolutely safe. We all have endocannabinoid systems. We're not doing anything foreign to the body. We're just simply supporting that system to work the way it already knows how to do to achieve that balance and harmony in the body.
So how many drops would you give to a child?
Again, there's no dosage per se. It's hard to get out of that mindset because we think about pharmaceuticals having a dose. Because I tend to start low and build up. You know, if we're talking of, you know, my patient,
your 4-year-old patient.
4-year-old is taking half a dropper of the 500 milligrams twice a day. So they're getting a total of 10 milligrams a day.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
It's a good place to start. And you know, there are kids on a whole lot more than that. But, you know, I say start slow and see what the body needs.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, Paula, for joining us. Yeah, we are really do appreciate you. We know how busy you are. We know it's the middle of your day, even though we're all thinking about going to bed. But we really do appreciate you. You gave your time up for us, and I'm sure we're going to be inviting you again soon. Yeah, because
fantastic. My pleasure.
No, it's great, you know, and everyone, thanks so much for joining us. We have recorded the call, so as long as the other part worked, which is to convert it into a film show for you, then that should be available in the next 24 to 48 hours, and we'll certainly place it on the WhatsApp group, that's for sure. But we just want to thank everyone for joining us on this journey. It's going to be incredible. You know, we're having record numbers of people sign up. Every day we break a new record, which is absolutely phenomenal. And we've got lots of good news coming for you very soon. So have a fantastic evening. Paula, we really appreciate you. Suzanne, thank you for introducing Paula. And thank you everyone for being on the call and just helping us to transform millions of people's lives, because that's what's going to happen. So have an absolutely fantastic rest of the evening.